Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome to Jibber Jabber. I am your host, as always, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Tone Shift. With me today, I'm going to be going slightly out of order as far as how everyone is sort of listed on my screen, because I want to introduce one of the members before the others, specifically the, admittedly a day late birthday girl, Lumina Starlight.
Woo!
Yep. Her birthday was yesterday, and we kind of did shit to celebrate it today, before we did Jibber Jabber, so... Send birthday wishes!
Happy birthday to Lumina.
And it'd also probably help
Happy birthday.
And it also would probably help if Lumina introduced herself and said hi.
She did say hi.
I didn't hear her.
I think she probably didn't hear you because that we're cutting out.
Damn it. Now is not the right time for tech difficulties. God damn it. Alright, fine, whatever. Next up, we have, starting off the British corner, we have Darkness.
Hey everybody, again.
Joining him in the British corner, we have, after being away for quite some time, Lightning Flash.
You're muted, Lightning.
This is the part where you unmute yourself.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Hey.
And lastly, to round out the British corner, we have Tom.
Eyo.
Next
The
up,
triple Brit is back.
Yep, let's see here.
The Triforce.
Yep. Next up, in the background, staring into your soul, we have Paladin.
Ew.
You didn't do the voice.
I didn't have
voice?
to. Yes. I'm kind of tired. Give me a break. And last but not least,
No.
staring at Paladin with intense disapproval, we have Patrick Soviet Starfish. Did I miss anyone?
At least you're not too tired for that.
1 week.
Selective.
I would like 1 fucking week where we don't.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe. I've yet to meet one who can outsmart Bullet.
Yes.
TFT reference. Yeah.
All right, so how's everyone's week been?
Nerve-wracking but terrific. Not a good one.
Well, I have something to announce.
Oh, really?
In the past 2 weeks, I have lost 12 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Is that? Oh, hold on.
Did you have to get a loan?
Money? Or did you lose weight?
Ha 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 ha. We all know he lost money. I kid. My week went pretty well, all things considered. A little stressful these last couple days, and I slept like shit last night, so I might be a little lacking in the energy department today. Just keep that in mind.
When are you not?
Well, I mean, usually I sleep pretty well, but I slept like total ass last night for reasons I'll get into later. But first and foremost, we do actually have a list of like 3 topics already pre-written up. So before I get into that first one, how many of you here has seen the season 9 premiere?
So
Yes.
that's why I'm going to let you find gents talk about it.
All right, so some of us have seen it at least. Okay, let's try to keep it somewhat spoiler free then. But we are.
Who here hasn't actually seen it? It'll be easy to ask.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just Darkness.
All right. Well, either way, still probably be best to go kind of try and be spoiler free, but just to be on the safe side, there might be some mild spoilers in this somewhere. So, yeah.
Feel free to deafen yourself if you so wish, Darkness. For the...
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free. So yeah, you in the audience, mild, possible spoiler warning for some stuff in the Season 9 premiere. I'm going to try not to get too spoilery, but...
I mean, that's going to be kind of hard, because if we don't go to spoiler territory, this topic's going to last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. I'll go first and do what I can. Basically, what it amounts to. I really liked this premiere, though I do have to say there are a couple of small things with that kind of stuck out at me as problems that keep me from giving like if I had to give it a rating of 4 out of 5. The way presently I would rate it is, a 4 instead of a 5, because for one thing, the sort of central antagonist of everything, I wasn't a big fan of the way they were portrayed. I was hoping for something a bit more calm, collected, and scheming and planning, but not something quite so. The villain we got was very grandstanding, very talkative, liked to monologue, very
Flamboyant.
Yes, thank you. Flamboyant. And he was kind of a dork. Compared to what I was hoping for, it was kind of a giant letdown. It was still a lot of fun, and a lot of great stuff was set up. And so we've got a lot of good material to work with going forward, and we've also got a lot of other plot threads, and a big one kind of set up off to the side that will hopefully lead up nicely to the finale. Only other things I disliked about the episode are there were just a couple of little narrative inconsistencies that I noticed. For example, at one point it was stated that the school is currently out for summer, but then a little later on in part 1, Twilight's freaking out because she has to give this past responsibility to the school over to Starlight, but it's closed for the summer, so that shouldn't be an immediate priority.
I think it was just in general, since
yeah.
she was going to be new headmistress.
Yeah, just in general, but still, if it's out for the summer, it was just a bit of an inconsistency. The bigger one was that one of the threats kind of showed up, and then after it was dealt with for a little bit, completely disappeared when it shouldn't have. Specifically, mild spoilers here. Skip ahead a little bit. The Plundervines kind of made a comeback.
It wasn't so much the Plundervines. It wasn't the Plundervines. It was the forest itself.
Yeah, it was the forest itself. But either way, because the thing keeping the forest from expanding so rapidly, was no longer doing that, and so I don't know.
I think it was suggested that once again, spoilers, that Starswell kind of beat it into submission because that's how they used to do it periodically.
Well, yeah, I get that, but still, they should have spent at least a few seconds to address that, because it kind of seems like a plot thread left hanging. But
but I think they did.
They didn't. They didn't. They showed, again, spoilers. They showed Celestia, Luna, Starswirl attacking the plants, but they didn't show them stopping the plants. We just have to assume that they found the roots and stopped them, but we didn't see that happen. We just saw the shockwave. We just saw the shockwave rippling outwards and everything going back to normal, but the shockwave shouldn't have had anything to do with the forest expanding. That was a completely unrelated issue from Silent Smash.
Unless everything going back to normal unfucked the thing getting destroyed.
No.
It didn't.
Right. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
There's future episode synopses about it.
I would like to say this. As much as I hate the way they handled Sombra, congrats. You pulled a fast one on the 6 most, well, not most powerful, but at least the 6 most
he was
accomplished. They have the best track
accomplished
record.
People.
It was a good plan, set up once. I think we're basically against fucking spoilers now, aren't we? Yeah, it was a good plan because he basically did what all other villains did and just set out this grandiose, this is my scheme, now come and defeat me, and now that you think you defeat me, you're going to go home victorious, I'm just going to follow you back to the cave.
Yep.
They even remarked that was easy, yeah, because it was intended to be. They didn't even try to stop him from getting into the castle.
I mean, doesn't Twilight's Castle don't even have any defenses?
We're talking about the Crystal Palace here, the Crystal Empire. Sombra never went to Twilight's Castle.
He didn't even try that stuff from getting
I mean, to be fair, we did have 2 crystal guards, and congrats to those 2, because they're the only guards in the series we have seen actually do anything. One of them threw his sword, the other one hurled a fucking spear. And it was great. I was happy to see that. They failed, but you failed doing something, damn it!
Yeah, one of them threw a spear at Sombra and missed his face by a couple of inches. But yeah. But it's not like he escaped death for long.
Yeah.
He must be very sick of dying at this point.
Yep.
I mean, is he even alive at this point?
No, he wasn't alive before.
I live, I die, I live again. I died again.
He died.
That's
like,
pretty terrifying if you
again,
think about
spoilers. Necromantically brought him back to life to use him. And then he decided, like, fuck your Legion of Doom, I can do this myself. He went off, did a lot of damage. He's quite skilled, but underestimated what exactly the source of their power was, and
I mean, here's the thing. If he would have just stuck to his original plan after he destroyed the tree, he would have been fine. But no.
He had to be an arrogant cockbite. He had to
overstep his bounds.
To be fair, if he had actually killed him, I think Discord wouldn't have faked out and would have just outright gone nuts.
Yeah.
Because Fluttershy would have been,
no one hurts his wife.
Discord made a point that he could just click Sombra out of existence at any time he wanted. He didn't, though, because he wanted, in his own stupid, chaotic way, to teach them a lesson.
Yeah, like that, and I do actually have to say, that's one thing about Discord that I'm actually kind of fond of. I like the fact that they don't just rely on him on a solve our problems button, because he doesn't serve as that, and nor does he want to. He still helps, but in a roundabout way. Because he doesn't just want to snap his fingers and make everyone's problems go away. They get complacent if he does that. So he gives them little nudges, he pushes their buttons, he taunts them, he teases them, he trolls them into doing what they need to do to figure out what the hell they're supposed to do without him just snapping his fingers and making the problems go away.
And you also know that if anyone actually ended up coming to physical harm, he probably would have cut the shrouds, actually stepped in.
Yeah.
Just wanted to see if they could do it without coming to that.
Yeah, but like most of the time he's happy to let them go about their business and solve the problems on their own so long as there is so long as they have an actual chance and way of solving the problem themselves.
Can we just appreciate, though, just how, like, someone was just firing all these dark magical spells and they just get turned into balloons and bubbles and just nothing.
God damn it, you could not.
Like, the scene was focused on Discord and him, like, doing his monologue, and you could just see in the background someone getting more and more pissed off.
Like, God damn it, this is humiliating!
Get his ass out to him.
And then Discord conveniently let slip that, he was mostly doing this for Fluttershy because she's his favorite. And I'm pretty sure he pointed that out deliberately so Sombra would change his target.
And then dove in the way, even though he could once again just click his fingers and turn it into butterflies or something.
Yeah. Yeah. All for the sake of an illusion to get the main six to stop hinging on him and do something themselves. He faked being mortally wounded. Everyone was pissed at him about that, but there you go.
I mean, he was equally pissed that he wasted a perfectly good speech.
I mean, the message wasn't lost. It carries meaning and weight even now. It's just
Also, can we appreciate Rainbow Dash's line of "the princesses never do anything"?
You never really help out anyway.
I like the fact that they addressed that.
But it makes sense now that we have the premiere set up, because it does make sense why they've been, kind of on the sidelines letting them
it's not so much on the sidelines, the fact that they get warped a lot.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. Discord did the same thing that has happened to both Celestia and Luna multiple times.
He did it on purpose, though.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. It has been established now that everything that has happened in the series so far has been Celestia training them to take over the mantle of, defending Equestria. How do we know that every incident she has been defeated in hasn't just been on purpose?
Well,
because
she's not that fucking stupid. One, and
I mean,
two, she was active. We know she was actively alarmed by T-Rex showing up. So,
well, that is true. Back to the initial fight against Chrysalis, she gave it all, but then was overpowered because Chrysalis had absorbed a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Well, no, she had. Well, actually, I've watched that scene like twice now, and I've noticed she hesitates because Chrysalis, either tricking her into thinking she's about to lose or actually almost getting defeated, starts wincing like she's about to lose control. Celestia hesitates and then boom, then gets knocked
out. It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
Also, the other time where she got ambushed, knocked out by the changelings, and along with the main six.
I do not like that.
No, we don't talk about that.
Yes, we do.
Because that's just stupid.
You kidding? That's one of my favorite finales.
I know it is mine too, but how the fuck did it happen though?
Well, the changelings are evidently good at what they do. There's
guards whoever was nearby, and then get a baseball bat and whack them over the head. It doesn't matter if you're a god like Alicorn, a concussion is a concussion.
Yeah, or hell, if you're Thorax, you just throw a horse head statue bust into the back of Luna's head, and down she goes. That's a little Choices reference for all of you.
Bonk. Yeah. Spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I liked this premiere. I don't think it was. It's a lot of fun and it sets a lot of stuff up. My only other gripe with it is really just kind of a nitpick, and that's mostly that I feel like things happened a bit too quickly in the premiere in the first part. But outside of that, it was good all the way around. I really liked it.
Right.
Can we? I also like when this was going on about Twilight taking over Sasha Luna's son's duties, like when he clicked his fingers and create that vision of Twilight on a throne, how evil she looks.
Oh yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
He was trolling them. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, just Discord taking the piss.
Yeah.
Remember when your alternate self went crazy and almost destroyed 2 universes?
Yep.
Also, can I make a prediction for Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Cozy?
I mean, you've read the leaks, so.
All the leaks were related to the premiere. I thought it was going to be the finale, but I don't know anything beyond that. The leaks were literally all about Grogar and the elements being destroyed. But my prediction would be, I still think Chrysalis is going to be reformed because she's seen how crazy and how much she misses the Hive.
Yeah,
she's gone full on Wilson.
But yeah.
I still imagine she'll still be giving everyone the cold shoulder, like she might be more like an anti-hero type setup when all said and done. She's not really friends with everyone, but she's not their enemy anymore. She just...
I reckon she,
like Vegeta?
Related to the Hive, she will undergo the metamorphosis by the end, probably during the finale. I also reckon that she's the only one to get officially reformed. I don't think Tyrek and Cozy will. However, I do think theoretically that Chrysalis will convince Cozy and Tyrek to turn on Grogar for reasons of self-preservation, because something along the lines of, once Grogar wins, he won't need you anymore.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So they'll
Also, we now know why the forest exists.
Why the what?
Thanks. Yeah. Did you? Literally in his opening monologue. Fuck. That's one of the things Grogar touched up on. He created the Everfree Forest.
Yeah. Got their patterns right.
And in turn, all of the fucking monsters that inhabit it.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I reckon Chrysalis will convince them to help Equestria against Grogar for their own sake, and then they won't be reformed, but they'll either then be returned to Tartarus, or together they'll be given a head start, like Justice League Unlimited ending style.
Yeah.
Like, you have 5 seconds to run.
Yeah,
You know, as much as I would love to see Crystals get reformed, I'm questioning whether it's going to be, you know, like she just stops being an asshole kind of reformation, or, you know, like the rest of the Hive.
I don't know how it'll be, but I reckon she will undergo metamorphosis and rejoin the Hive. Not sure whether it'll be as queen or not, though I could see it if the reformation was genuine and Thorax being like, I didn't want to be king anyway. You can have the job.
Been going for a good 20 minutes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I think we've pretty much said all we need to say about the season 9 premiere, so
we're gonna take your MacGuffins and yeet them somewhere else.
Yeet.
Also, I also noticed during the episode that Flurry Heart said her first.
Mama.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now the little demon spawn is talking.
Yep. It's not exactly a good memory of your child's first word when she's held upside down by an undead tyrant.
yeah. Who is using her as a hostage so that you don't vaporize him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to deal with an alicorn.
You know,
I'm going to hold your baby hostage, so you have to surrender.
This is one of the many situations where the ultimate solution is gun.
I mean, they have.
Whatever would I do? Bang.
They have gun equivalent, so.
Laser beam.
Whatever would I do? Bang. Oh, wait, he just held Flurry Heart in the way of the bullet.
Exactly.
I mean, one, he'd have to be pretty fast to be faster than a bullet.
The king of shadows who can turn it into shadow that projectiles will just pass through.
Okay, but do you know how fast a bullet goes?
You do realize once he turns into shadow, that bullet's just going to fall out of his body, right?
Which is instantaneous.
If he can do it in time.
He will. Like, this is a dude who can single-handedly take out an army. Yeah,
we've seen him. Yeah, he's done it. So, anyways, so we do have more we have more topics to get to.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, our Final Fantasy D6 recap. We did play Final Fantasy D6 this week. It was it was a bit different this week.
Oh, this will be good.
Yes, it will.
See, it opened up innocently enough. It just seemed like another adventure for the cast. You know, they were called to the castle of Marasu and told, hey, we've been seeing some cultist activity near a mansion. Could you go check it out? And they're like, sure, let's go check it out. And they go over there to check it out. And after beating the shit out of a few cultists outside and sending one of them running with both of his kneecaps exploded because Neothil's an asshole.
Well, I mean...
As you do.
I didn't kill him.
Yeah.
We gave him an option.
Everyone then proceeded to head inside and started looking around, and they found this really fucking weird statue in the middle of the front room with this poem, riddle-like thing on it, basically spelling out a scavenger hunt. A bunch of items were scattered throughout this mansion. All of them needed to be brought back to the statue and placed into the bowl at its base to open a secret passage. And the party was, told to investigate this house. They figured it would probably be a good idea to open the secret passage and see what the cultists were hiding. So they started looking around. And after a while of some back and forth, they eventually found all 4 of the items, which were 3 braids of dark blue hair, a book on various types of creatures, mythological, new and old, specifically unicorns, and even more specifically the one that Odin currently rides on, because his old horse died a long-ass time ago. A statuette of a chocobo hatching from an egg, and a bundle of really, really lush Geishel greens. They brought all those things back to the statue, plunked them all into the bowl, and it opened up this little slot in it that that could only be peered into and actually have the desired effect by an eye that could not be blinded. Now, it's worth noting, Rocket can still be blinded, but she does have a cybernetic eye, and what constitutes as blind for it is not quite the same as her organic one, so it passes the bill. It looked in, the thing did a quick scan, and a secret door opened up. The party all went down there. There's just this table with a note on it. And Rocket read it, and it's worth noting, Rocket found like all but one of the items on the scavenger hunt list. Alistair just kept finding a bunch of rooms with nothing in them, and a bunch of shitty rooms towards the end. And Neothil found one of the scavenger hunt items, and also a bunch of empty rooms. So Rocket was kind of leading the way, which is appropriate for this. After they found all of those items and brought them back, and she read the note, the note was in fact a letter written by me, Tom, Darkness, and Hades, who sadly couldn't attend because he had family matters to attend to, all wishing Lumina a happy birthday. A day late, granted, but still. And apparently she did not know. She suspected nothing, right?
You there, Lumina?
Lumina.
She's in the chat, but she's like, she hasn't been saying anything.
I think she might have fallen asleep. She was a bit tired.
Yeah. Okay, sure, let's go with that. Let's just assume she fell asleep at the desk.
She was saying that she was feeling a bit tired and like she was going to fall asleep in the chat earlier.
Maybe she just fell asleep in her spot. Okay.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, hey!
Hello!
Did we wake you up?
Whoops.
Hey,
Sorry
Luna.
if we did.
Were you sleeping over there?
And now she's got out again.
She's silent again.
I assume
God damn it.
difficulties.
Well, bottom line is, the entire session was just 2 hours of build-up for a happy birthday wish. It was all elaborately schemed, and all of the items on the scavenger hunt were items that, you know, the rest of us kind of associated to some degree with Lumina. For one thing, her MLP OC is primarily blue in color, so the dark blue hair. A book on unicorns, because Lumina's OC is a unicorn. And the Geisha Greens and Chocobo hatchling statuette, because her character in Final Fantasy D6 is Rocket, a Chocobo. So we went with that. She didn't catch on until the very end. And let me tell you, we conspired to do that all week.
Yeah.
We made plans.
We have recorded evidence that will go for about 3 weeks.
Yep, and
Yes,
I was,
and
and I had a lot of anxiety about this. I have never in my life run something so elaborate for the sake of surprising someone for their birthday. This was a first time for me, and I am just glad it went off even marginally well.
I didn't feel overly nervous about it up until we got everything to the statue. It was like, oh shit, it's that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, as for me, I was from fucking Monday or something like that, where I was like, had a dream that we did the birthday, it was a huge success, but then I woke up, it's like, ah, shit, it's only Monday.
Yeah. Like, and I had a couple things. For one thing, I was worried that I was being too obvious and that Lumina would immediately catch on that something was up. I was worried that that we wouldn't be good liars and that she'd catch on that we were doing something sneaky.
I bet, to pick your mind about it, Lumina, I have a feeling what you thought we would, or Brian was doing, was that it was your plot stuff, because previous me and Hades had our plot already played out when all the magic stuff came up.
I just thought it was part of the story.
She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I guess that's how well we did it.
Yeah, and the last thing that I was kind of worried about, because I received a notification that her birthday was coming up from DeviantArt. I got a notice on that, you know, Lumina Starlight, birthday coming up in 1 week, and I was like, oh shit, we should do something to celebrate. A surprise to make her feel better for all the crap she's had to put up with lately. And, but there was this little fear in the back of my mind that, okay, now what if she lied then? What if that's not really her birthday? What if she put in a different number for the sake of her own privacy? Now, thankfully, that's not the case, as was confirmed a few days ago in, like, patron discussion or Jibber Jabber roll call when she pointed out that her own birthday was coming up in a few days. And I was like, oh, thank fuck. It would have been so awkward if we did all of that and it wasn't her fucking birthday.
Yeah. Awkward.
Exceedingly so, yes.
We could have just asked her to pretend it never happened and rehashed it for their for actual birthday, because that wouldn't have had any problems.
You know what? You like say your birthday's on Saturday. Nothing important then. Good to know.
Ow.
I just didn't say anything when she made the confirmation. I was silent because acknowledging it would raise eyebrows too much.
Yes, even I had to keep my mouth shut.
Your mouth shut.
I must do.
Yeah. So it was a week-long process, and the closer we got, the more nervous I got because I was so worried that something would go wrong, that it would be shitty, that it would be too obvious, that it wouldn't be satisfying. So many problems and worries going through my mind at once, and finally, I sat down, I was like, I'm kind of glad I slept like shit last night. I don't have enough energy to worry about it.
I will say this. I thought after the 21 times of hosting surprises and not saying anything, I thought I'd be used to this sort of stuff by now, but this was the most nerve-wracking of all of them.
Can I also point out something that no one called out? I used Darkness's "Let's just say" line during that session.
I didn't notice. Because you don't say it every other sentence.
Well, that was why it should have been noticeable. Get that.
Yeah, well. And,
Let's just say.
Don't ever do that again. But yeah,
I know.
Yeah, when all is said and done, it was a fun time. I've already uploaded it to Dropbox and sent it to Tom.
I've downloaded it already. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a hell of a video to explore and upload.
Yep.
As one singular entity.
You're going to upload it as one episode?
Well, yeah, it's not really something I can split, this one.
Fair enough. But,
bonus super long episode that's going to murder my computer trying to render. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, when you download it, you can just rename it and just direct upload it. You don't have to make any edits.
Thing is, YouTube takes longer to upload raw video files.
I mean, it's MP4, so it's already kind of processed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at the video.
Anyways, so, yeah. That's our FFD6 recap. It was a lot of fun this session because we conspired.
The most nerve-wracking, but also most epic, I say.
Yeah.
And next time, it's all been a race, so we gotta do it again.
I'm glad.
That means I have to freaking.
I still think we should start around Lauren Kane.
We'll see what happens. Either way, I will say this. I am so happy none of you guys used any consumables. Because if you had, at the end of the session, it was like, also, you get all your consumables back. I hope you were keeping track of how many you used. But luckily, no consumables were used, and that was not a problem. So, yeah.
Yep.
Birthday episode special. Success! And I'm at some point going to have to add that as a secret bonus quest to the video game adaptation. That'll be interesting.
Have you already added the secret candle in the
new
like,
DLC
side area?
Lumina birthday.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to add it just yet. I'll give it some thought.
I think that was a good idea. Originally, like there's a hidden chest somewhere in the Outlands where you get a candle and then at the end of that day, it just comes up with, like before, you have unlocked a hidden scene. Do you wish to see it?
Yeah, kind of like.
I'd say the favorite part is I'd say my favorite part of it was the big reveal of the surprise. Second would be the team up me and Wocket did.
Yeah, they did a pretty epic. Yeah, they did a pretty epic teamwork attack. Teamwork attacks are really useful if you can do them right.
Yep.
Anyways. So, yeah, that's our second topic out of the way. We have one more before we may or may not have to jump to improv.
Depends on how long this one takes.
Yeah, this one is a continuation of a topic from last week that kind of had to be stopped in the middle. Specifically, a continuation of a story about a friend's D&D escapades told by Darkness. So go ahead, give like a little recap or something, and then take it away.
Yep. Hang on a sec. It's called maybe one Mac won't be long.
Yeah, boy. So it all fell silent.
And I'm back. Told you it was quick. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
That's a yes or no answer. Anyway, before I jump into it, another thing, I have to admit that I buggered up. I made a mistake. Mistakes were made. Which, to be fair, I should have introduced all the freaking characters for that. So this is going to be a quick, brief thing. Zach is the DM of the group. Josh is my friend who's the leader of the group, and of course is basically the highest level on the group. He plays a level 15 human fighter named Mirren. Then Rebecca, which is his sister, plays, if I could read this name properly, Nevea, which is a level 13 tiefling assassin. And Nicholas plays Ash, which is obvious who he plays. He plays the fire mage at level 11. And he's a... Hang on, I've got to check this is right. G-Sire? G-Sire? Which is, looking up at it, is basically a creature that's usually like to be played by an evil character, explains his fiery nature. And, yeah, it's like a form of demon of such. Fair enough. Martin plays Doran, a level 11 dwarf warrior. Then we have Amy, who plays Zafina, which is a level 9 elf cleric, which is the healer of the group. And then we've got, which is Zach's girlfriend, because now, yeah, with Zach's DM, he does all the male voices, but he can't do a female voice because it hurts his vocal cords to no end. So he brings along his girlfriend to do it instead, which is Lucy, who plays, well, Crimson now. And before we get to her level, basically what she is a red dragon. After they encountered Crimson, they head straight back to the village, which didn't go too well. After they asked, how was your mission? We dealt with the problem, and just before they congratulate them, then the Crimson shows up, which is the red dragon, and immediately they did not like it one bit. They were terrified. They thought the entire group was insane. They wanted them to kill the dragon if they want any reward and ever be allowed back into the village, which led to an interesting conflict that they didn't want to. Even tried to bribe the dwarf because his people hate the dragons the most, since they kept causing his people much grief. Which he says, as tempting as the offer is of receiving any amount of guild you are willing to pay me, I'm going to go on our leader's side here. No offense at all, it's just he's never steered us wrong. And I did promise him I'd give Scaly here a chance. Which she looks at him angrily, calling her a nickname like that. Clearly. And so they were kicked out of the village and thought they were the most mad group of people to ever meet. But while they were on the trail of going somewhere else, because they're definitely the most hated people in the village now, they had a quick slight break for refreshments and all that. Well, Zach and Lucy hatched a little plan. When the group came back and resumed into the game, then Zach had a bit of a nasty little smile on his face, and so did Lucy. Was wondering, which immediately one of them was like, is this where we're all going to die now for trusting the dragon? I knew it. But no, complete opposite. Because The DM, Zach, he's never come across a red dragon joining the group before. He found the whole concept interesting. And Lucy wants to also see where this is going to go. So, she can be a character that joins the group on one little condition. If she survives with them long enough. Because it turns out where the injuries at first was a bit minor, although that was looked by Mirren, which he doesn't know much about injuries. And yeah, the healer tried to heal her up as best they can, but her blood has been contaminated with a terrible form of infection, which is spreading rapidly in her body. So if they don't find a way to cure this, she could die within the 4 hours when it reaches the critical stage. So, yeah. So they have 4 hours to save her life. Which time is literally at the essence because they need to think quickly before they lose her. But every time they make an option, the next town near is way too far away, and the villagers will definitely not help. So they were thinking, and that's when the healer of the group spoke out. I do know someone who specializes in medicines, who also taught me a bit. Is he okay? Is this person far? If we go at a reasonable pace, we could reach there in about... well, how far are we from it? Well, if it's... According to this, you're about 3 hours away at good pace. So you will have an hour left to save her. Okay, then. But how does he feel about dragons? I have no idea. Never asked him that. Terrific. But he likes to stick to himself. He finds other people around him annoying. Oh, wonderful. But he's a really nice person. And what is his name? Haven. Haven. Fair enough. We best make our way then, because it looks like... Well, what's her condition like? Wolf awareness? You notice that they rolled a 12, and Crimson's a little bit wobbly on her feet, for it may cause her more damage, but she seems to be able to walk for now. So, they made their way through the forest, luckily not encountering any trouble whatsoever, but now and then she did fall over and they had to help her back up, which, being a red dragon, is like, get your hands off me or I bite you or burn you. She does not like to be touched.
And yeah, red dragons are like the second most evil of the colored dragons.
Yes. So, they managed to make it there with no delay. And when they did arrive, they wasn't expecting it to look like a little hovel of such, like a small little cottage. Okay. This... I don't think she would fit through. Don't worry.
It's bigger on the inside.
Well, all they see is just like this weird shaped, like it looks like it'll be like a mini hillside with one door right there. They knocked on the door, and a voice spoke out. Sorry, we're closed for the night. Please come back tomorrow morning. Haven, Athena, we need your help. One of my friends is ill. Wait. Why did you say it was you? Sorry, my dear. Let me get the door. And you hear a load of multiple locks just unlocking at a rapid pace. How many locks does this guy have? He is a bit cautious to strangers. I can tell. After 16 locks later.
Oh, not
You're
50.
close.
Damn. Not even close, no. I'm off by almost 40.
Yeah. After 16 locks later, the door flinged open. You see a small little fellow, dressed all smart, with a happy smile on his face. Greetings, my name's Haven. Where's the patient? Wait, hang on. You didn't tell me he was a hobbit. You got a problem? We prefer the term halfling, but thanks. How's that better? Never question it. Now, who's the patient? Oh, she is.
That's an appropriate reaction.
Give me a moment, my dear. And he shuts the door on you. I think he's not gonna help. He is a bit spooked, but I'm sure he won't abandon our friend. Especially how she's looking. Is she looking at me? Well, she's definitely not impressed. And then he opens the door. Okay. Yep, there is a dragon. I am definitely not drunk out of my head, and it is no fever dream. Okay. Whew. Does it have a name? Does she have a name? Her name's Crimson. Most appropriate name. So, what can I do for her? Please say I don't have to look in her mouth or nothing. Well, she does need a full checkup, but not as. From what I managed to gather, I think she may have some blood poisoning or something. Or infection. Give me a moment. Right, let's look at the damage. She isn't going to attack me, right? Hang on, Crimson, please do not attack. I know he may touch you in certain places you may not like, but he's trying to help you, understand? I'll be watching him, but I swear, if he goes too far, I am eating him. Okay, good for the warning. So, he had a look at her. Right, okay, a few injuries, but they seem to be healing up well. The wing's a bit damaged, but that's also healing okay. Miss, could you maybe open the... Oh my goodness, those are big teeth. Nice and healthy teeth. Well, of course, if they're not clean, they're not sufficient. Great. Good advice on teeth. So glad you kept up with your health. Maybe wrong choice of words. Yeah, you have suffered some very bad infection going out through your body, but my goodness, I'm surprised you made it this far. So, could you help her? I mean, could she recover? I could say no. Oh, if she was out in the wild still. For goodness sake! Will you let me finish, sir? You would have known. So, do you have the equipment to help her or not? Of course, I can help her. But it's not exactly cheap. Are you serious? I'm running a business here. I am literally in the middle of nowhere because I'm just, no offense, I can't stand to be around other people now and then. They get in the way, they interfere with my work. I need to focus on things. Because if I make up one single concoction, I'm out of a job. And I can't afford that. Or have the law come after me and take me away for poisoning my customers. Or any other nasty side effects. But anywho, I can help her. How much guild? I'm gonna say for such a rare case, 600. 600 guild. Yeah. Oh boy.
For a level 15 party with a level 15 character, that should be nothing.
Yeah. Except they have a habit of spending their guild, and they would have got quite a hefty guild from vanquishing the creature, but of course they didn't get paid. They were hoping to get paid.
Also in D&D it's gold, not gil.
Oh, gold, sorry. I got guild stuck in my head. I go, gold. 600 gold. How much do we have altogether? I did have guild. Oh, gold, sorry, damn it. I had gold. Where is it? You did have a good amount of gold. What happened to it? Has anyone forgot that I spent it already on this? Seriously, what? I may be a fire mage, but I acquire a nice neck when I'm burning things.
Please tell me Crimson just used an intimidation roll to get the guy to just fix her up for cheaper. That'd be amazing.
Oh, he was going to try it. How about this? You heal me up, and you won't be barbecued, halfling. He was scared, but... sorry, miss, but as intimidating as that was, I think I may rather take my chances. And of course, the healer of the group tried, since she's a big friend of him. Please, I know you're trying to run a business, but I beg of you, could you please help us heal the dragon, please?
Discount, maybe?
Just a little discount, something like that. Because we're never going to hear the end of it from our leader. I beg of you, please. For some strange reason, he really likes the dragon, and I don't want to see that. He's literally begged his friend not to wield his axe on the dragon, so please. Okay, miss.
Just say please 17 times in a row with a bunch of sentences between them. It'll work eventually.
Because it did work, and he was like, okay, miss, I get it. All right. Because of this point in time, and for once, and this is only once, because I care, I would give you a bit more of a discount, like 200 less. So how does 400 gold sound? We can do that, yeah. I mean, we should have enough. Well, as long as someone... What? You need to participate as well. We need about 50 more. And you have that. But no, I want to keep it. Oh, come on, man. It's just 50. But I want 150. Come on. Just give him the fucking gold.
Just give him the fucking gold. There's a pissed off red dragon behind us.
Yeah.
We're trying to save her life. If we can't do that, we're dead too.
With a little convincing, he finally did give the 15 gold. Only because one of the group threatened to break his mighty staff. Can I have the staff back now? Here you go, buddy.
Oh, I thought mighty staff was an analogy for dick.
So they waited, and they waited for a while. Tensions brewing, hoping that the dragon be okay. Do you think Crimson's going to be okay? Don't worry. Haven is great at his work. As long as Crimson doesn't get peckish or aggressive, he should get his job done A-okay. That's if. I mean, as long as he stays away from the sensitive parts of a dragon. What do you mean by... Oh, Darwin, no! How could you? What? I'm just saying. That is wrong. Don't put that in my head. Well, everyone has a sensitive spot. I know they do. Don't... I know it's hidden, but it's still there. Shut the fuck up!
Dragon genitalia! Dragon Ball Z.
Shut up, Timmy. Little Timmy's nearby.
Bunch of fucking Dragon Balls.
You know, Crimson could have you for saying that.
Or
I'm sure she can't hear me from here.
Yes, I can.
And then Haven walked in. Is she gonna be okay? Your dragon friend, as aggressive and moany as she is, although she is in quite an amount of pain as well, doesn't help. She will recover. But I must warn you, she may suffer a few side effects, like a bit of a dizziness and a few other things, but otherwise she'll be fine. Phew. Congratulations. Crimson shall become a member of this lovely little group of yours.
Wow.
Oh, thank goodness.
So this party recruited a fucking red dragon to their party.
Yes, but to be fair, it is...
Wow. That's impressive is what that is.
Yep. And I have got actually a side chart that he sent me of how big it is. It's basically the smallest size at the bottom. There's apparently 4 sizes that most people go with for a red dragon, which they're sending it now to the Jibber Jabber World Call. But anyway, while she was coming back around, as they all walked in to check up on her, the dwarf came in and was like, "Ah, I see you're still with us, Scaly." And then she whacked him at the back of the head, causing him to fall over. What was that for? I heard what you said about me, dwarf.
Get fucked.
Damn it, I didn't know dragons... Yeah, I didn't know dragons had super hearing. Listen, if I can hear prey from miles away, I can hear you through a little door. Okay, lesson learned. Could you not do that to me again? No promises.
You know, is that pretty much the end of that story at this point?
Despite the grogginess of the dragon, she is going to make it. And once the level will be, well, revealed, I'm afraid that will be to next time. But here you go. Here's the chart. She's basically that size, a small red dragon.
Okay, that seems a bit more reasonable than what I was imagining.
It
kind of reminds me. We've got a couple minutes left, so I'll take this time if we slide into improv.
Go ahead.
I may have told this story before, but fuck it, I'll tell it again. Family campaign of Dungeons and Dragons that ways back. Normally my brother was the dungeon master, but he wanted to take a little while off, so he passed dungeon master rights to me while the party went to a nearby land to do some other adventuring shit, right?
Yep.
They were asking for help from another nation to help them out with a vampire problem they were having. Part of that involved them going to the house of a court wizard who was, dead, and in his basement they discovered a red dragon. A juvenile red dragon, about the same size as the one you listed there. Small, it's young. Thing is, it didn't have the mind of a red dragon.
Oh.
Its mind,
I remember this.
Yeah, its mind and soul had been swapped with that of an aging golden retriever.
Oh my.
So this young red dragon has the friendly demeanor and excitability of a dog. And even had giant mammoth bones in his pen that he just gnawed on because they were bones and he's a dog. And the party discovered him, and because he'd been alone for weeks, he just followed them. The party had a fucking red dragon following them around, and they couldn't get rid of him.
Aww.
Yeah.
He's looking for a new master.
Yeah. And I mean, there were a lot of points over the campaign because they had this guy following him around where they had to explain what he was. It's like they came up to a city and they have this red dragon is following along, panting heavily. So I was like, the guard's like, "What the fuck? He's not aggressive, but he's a red dragon. He's a dog. What?" That kind of thing.
What?
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, JonTron. It was
well done.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The red dragon was several levels higher than them. he almost never helped them in combat because he was a cowardly dog. Every time Fighting Star came up, he would run unless he rolled really high on a wisdom saving throw, in which case he would help. And he did help a few times. Notably, like one time they were getting attacked by a bunch of lizard folk on a boat, and he jumped overboard and started swimming around under the water to stay away from the fighting. But then the one of the group that he liked the most got hurt, so he pulled a lizard man down and killed him in one fucking hit. Like, that's pretty much the thing. On the rare occasion that he actually rolled high enough to actually attack, he pretty much instantly killed at least one enemy. He couldn't use his breath attack because the dog doesn't know how to do that, but...
Hey, Tone. Imagine a guard be like, Kiki, get off your butt and check out this red retriever.
God damn. I don't know why that you brought up lizard men, and that made me think of something funny from the Elder Scrolls lore.
You'll have to talk about it next time because we're at the hour mark. It's time to end. So, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Jibber Jabber. We'll see you next week. See you then, people. Keep listening. Bye.
Sarah.
Bye.
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 Crimson's a party member.